Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
We're talking now about the Dream 100 system creation. And there is a little book that's kind of hiding behind you. We'll pull it up on the screen for the Thrivers, but it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine, written by a guy named Chet Holmes. And for all the Thrivers out there, if you're going to listen to an audio CD while driving, get this book by Chet Holmes. And I want to show you why this guy matters. He worked directly for Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's partner.
Okay,
So he worked for Charlie Munger, who worked for Warren Buffett. So it's kind of a deal where you're talking about a guy who came from this lineage of the Warren Buffett success team. He unfortunately passed away of cancer a few years ago, but he wrote this awesome book that teaches you specifically how to grow a business with that guerrilla marketing mindset. And one of the systems he teaches is called the Dream 100 system. And it is awesome. And so the Dream 100, and it starts with this question you want to ask yourself. Who are 100 people in O'Fallon, Missouri, who if they started to refer you to every patient or every person they ran into, have the capacity to completely change your business? Like, who are 100 people that if they started recommending you would totally change the world for you? So from my life, I'll show you a couple examples.
Okay.
Shortly after starting the DJ business, I realized I had a lot of equipment, a lot of speakers, a lot of motivation, a lot of frustration, a lot of non-success. And I realized that I wasn't getting any traction. Furthermore, I didn't have any referrals. I didn't have the money to advertise. But through this system, you can kind of see how this works. And at the time, I didn't know about the Dream 100. I knew about the Mastermind, a book by the Mastermind concept from Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
So the Dream 100 and the Mastermind are the same thing, basically. But what I did is on the wedding industry, and I thought of I'm a DJ, who are all of the businesses that could refer a DJ? And so I start making a list of them, and I start going, well, there's a photographer probably, maybe there's a caterer, okay, all the girls, the brides, they tend to get a ring, they get a limo, florist, and I kept doing this, and I made a list of 100. And I had a board called My Road to a Million. And I kept my board, and I believe I still have it at the house, but I kept this board. And what I would do is I would make a list of them, and I would go, if I can get this photographer, and this caterer, and this ring person, and this limo person to refer me, wherever there's that synergy where I can send them business and they can send me business, that could be a win-win. And so what you need to do right now is you need to figure out 100 businesses that if they started referring you, they could absolutely change the game for you. Could you think of even, like, you don't have to mention the specifics, but could you think of maybe 1 or 2 right off the top of your head?
Sure, like a couple of like family practice doctors.
Yep.
You know, the people who they see patients that they know they need to get their eyes checked, they'll refer them over.
So right now, homework for you.
Yeah.
You want to, when you get back home, you want to jot down 100 of them. Just go all the way through. It might be a local kids magazine. It might be the local family doctor. It might be a homeowners association. It might be a PTA. It might be a school. It might be a local tutoring company. It might be a local ballet class facility. It might be a local football team. You just got to go, and just keep thinking of them.
Okay.
And you have to turn the thoughts into things. So get them on the paper. So that's step 1. The second is you have to break out of the clutter. And that's why our main man, John Kelly, is here with us today. Because John executed the system. Now that I've been in business a little longer, I could have some people on the team help me with it. So we have team members do it with me and not just me. Back in the day, it was just me. But this is, so John, you were doing this for a photography company, right?
Yeah, I did it for quite a while, actually.
So let's get into it here. So you had a list of these vendors you're going to. And the first time you showed up, how did you break through the clutter? What did you do? Because everybody's trying to get these people to refer them, but what did you do to break out of the clutter?
So the first time that you stop by, you always stop by unannounced, and you just want to talk to whoever the decision maker is. And so the first time, they don't really listen to anything you're saying, because people will always stop by and introduce themselves. Like, that's not a normal thing. Like, so they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, thanks. We'll never see this joker again.
Right.
The second time, you're gonna get, like, some people are a little annoyed, like, why is this person taking up my time? Or you're gonna get like okay, what do you really want? And you're like, hey, listen, I just want to get to know you. I want to be able to, help you out in any way we can. And we talk about, like, rapport, needs, benefits, close, and it's the same thing. Where you, like, the first couple, you start that rapport, and then you talk about their needs, like how you can help them, what they, vice versa, and then the benefits of how you're going to be able to do that. So for the drop-offs, like, you drop off, you start building that rapport, and then they're like, okay, like, this guy's pretty cool. We're obviously not going to get rid of him.
Now, real quick, how do you break through the clutter? Because I'll say this because we drop by gifts, and so why do we do that? Because people tend to, if somebody bearing gifts, there's at least an intrigue. Yeah. There's a little bit of a thought of beware of someone bearing gifts, but usually people are going, oh, well. Yeah. So can you give an example of how that's helped you, or what kind of things you bring by to vendors?
Sure. So when I first started, I'll change it up week to week just so it doesn't get. But like, we used to bring Krispy Kreme donuts because they're like, when people think of Krispy Kreme, it's like top notch. Yeah. And you'll just stop by and be like, hey, I got you a Christmas in July. Like, it's Christmas in July. We're gonna celebrate it. And you just make any excuse.
He's literally dropping by Krispy Kreme donuts to wedding vendors in July.
Yep.
Now, this system, I've worked with pharmaceutical sales reps who've done the same thing. They brought by fruit trays to local doctors. And what will happen is that first time, to John's point, they're kind of standoffish, but you can break through the clutter by bringing some lunch or bringing some food or bringing some fruit. And then you keep following up, and what happens is, step 3 is you begin to move from annoyance to, like, why are you here? To, oh, who are you guys? To about the 3rd time or 4th time, there might even be an intrigue about, well, let me get your card. Or what do you do? And what you're trying to do is to get them to go from over here being annoyed to curious to buying. And if you keep doing this, I know it seems unlikely, but you can literally become friends with these people. Could you share the example of maybe one vendor you could think of? Maybe you kind of change up her name or his name, but you think of one now that you've become almost friends with, that at first they was nothing?
Sure. So there's quite a few of the venues in town. First time, like, it takes you 5 minutes. That first meeting, you're like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Here's my stuff, your stuff, come on. Yeah. And then now, like, I'll go to drop-offs. I'll literally sit there and talk to them for an hour because I know their story, they know my story, and we've moved past, who is this guy, until, like, hey, we're friends. Like, let's chat. Yeah. So it's a really cool deal.
And to John's point he made earlier, I want to encourage you to jot this down, and for all the Thrivers to do the same thing as well, is when you go by, you want to have a script for rapport, needs, benefits, close. Don't, off the top of your cuff, get in there and make stuff up. Yeah. So what I tell people is, for rapport, you want to use the 4 system. 4 stands for family, occupation, recreation, enjoyment. Family, occupation, recreation, enjoyment, or you call it experience, but family, occupation, recreation, enjoyment. So you'd say, well, hey, so how are you doing? They say, fine. And you say, now, is your family from around here? So what all do you do with your job? So what kind of stuff do you like doing when you're not here? Yeah. So what's one of your highlights of your week experience? And that gives you something. People love to talk about themselves. They are their favorite subject, rapport. Then their needs, you want to ask, well, what could I do to help bring you more business? What could I do to help you achieve your goals? What could I do for you? Not what could you do for me? Then they'll start to say, well, Doc, if you could send me a few more patients, that'd be great. I'll tell you what, I'll commit to passing out your cards. You do the same for me, bam. And they won't think you'll actually do it, because most people just talk. Benefits are where what you say, you back up with a fact. So what you say you're going to do, you back up with action. So it's you're claiming you're going to do something. You're saying, I'm going to solve your problem. I'm going to deliver you this benefit, but then you have to actually do it. It's a fact. It's based on an action, a real thing. So this is, literally, I remember going to one wedding vendor, and she was a really mean lady. And I remember going in, and she says, leave your cards there. I stop coming by. You're always coming by. Stop, and I said, hey, I brought you some fruit. And she's like, I don't need fruit. I'm like, no, I just maybe other people. It's like my ministry of fruit. And she's like, who are you? I just remember that. And I'm Clay with DJ Connection. I was just curious, is your family from around here? And she's like, yes, my dad is from here. We built this facility. And I'm like, okay, so tell me, like, what is your core job? She goes, I meet with brides and I help them plan out their ceremony and the reception. And I said, well, what kind of, what's your biggest challenge? She goes, it's a huge problem helping brides coordinate their ceremony because they always need somebody to help them do it. And I waste my whole day coordinating their ceremony and the reception. It's so frustrating. I said, well, what if and I won't tell the lady's last name, but it rhymes with harp. But I said, Miss Harp, could I help? It's part of my service. I'll do it for free. I'll help the girls plan out their entire ceremony and the reception, and I'll CC you on the confirmation. I'll do all that for you. Won't charge anything. We've been doing it for couples for years. In fact, we won the award for best service. Kind of like you're almost like you're feeding an alligator. Yeah. And she goes, okay, I've got a couple coming in here that doesn't have a budget for a DJ, but if you'll do it, I'll see if it's any good. Well, I won her over by solving that problem. And I'm not exaggerating. I probably got 40 to 50 weddings a year from that one lady who ended up becoming a friend. And it was really sad, but when her husband passed away, she called and was like, hey, it'd really mean a lot to me if you guys could come to the funeral. And it became that kind of a relationship.
Wow.
But she was so used to vendors coming by and promising the world and not delivering that she'd become calloused.
Yeah.
So just to understand, that's part of the thing. Mm-hmm. And then after you get them to refer you, don't stop. You keep reaching out to them. So this next step is you have to make a 10-step marketing system. And we're going to provide you a downloadable and all the Thrivers, like a worksheet that you can use for this. But I'm going to go ahead and draw up the worksheet for you so you can see it visually now. And then we'll give you a really nice PDF document that you can print and fill out whenever you get going. I would recommend that you have a board like this size, whiteboard, or you have a push pin board where you keep these things.
Yeah.
But this will be printed out on like 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And going across this row, I would put the name of the vendor. Then going across this row, or across the top row here, I would put step 1. And the next column I'd put step 2. And the next column I'd put step 3. And I would keep doing this until you get all the way out here to step 10. And what you'll do is you want to write what the step is. So step 1, you have to be systemic. To John's point, he's doing some work for the photography company, so it's not super scalable because we do weddings, and so we do the majority of the weddings in our community anyway. So it's not like we're doing other things. We don't do family photos. We just do weddings.
Right.
Your business is different though, because you're going to work with, everyone in your town has eyes. A third of the people, or half the people need, optometry assistance of some kind.
Right.
So, but you want to have the same system every time. So step 1, you might say, I'm going to do fruit. Step 1. Mm-hmm. Step 2, I'm going to mail them a handwritten note. Step 3, fruit. Step 4, movie tickets. And then what you do is you go in, you go, all right, well, this is Clay, and this is John, and let's say this is Doug. So Dr. Clay, Dr. John, Doug, I just promoted myself to a doctor status, but the thing is, then you go in, you say, okay, so here on 11/1, I went by there and I dropped off that fruit. Mm-hmm. Here on 11/1, did that, 11/1, and you want to touch all 100 of these people each week. And if that seems overwhelming, make a dream 15.
Right.
And just focus on the 15 people that if they started to refer you would change your life. But you touch them every week. Every single person on that list has to be touched. Then the next week you do it again. So you say 11/8, 11/8, 11/8. And then you go through, and what you'll find in that book, he talks about this, but you're gonna, when it's all said and done, you're gonna find that about 3% of these people, and it's not a super scientific number, but I've seen this work over and over, a little less than 5% of the people that you stop by will go, yeah, actually the optometrist I used to work with is an idiot, or he went out of business, or I'm ready to refer you now. Just randomly. It's just like, I was just looking for, because if you're going to the right people, they're going to go, I was just looking for an optometrist. You're just going to have the luck of the draw for about 5%.
Right.
Then there's another 5% that can be won over, 5 to 7%. But you'll have 3% that are low-hanging fruit. These guys are just like all day. This is just very easy, fish in a barrel. They're going to just go, hey, thanks for stopping by. I have a couple right now that needs a DJ.
Right.
But for everybody else, you have to work at it. And by the end of the 10 steps or the 10 weeks, you should be able to get about 10% of the people on that list to refer you over and over and over on an ongoing basis.
Thrive15.com and Wes Carter are providing general legal information to provide thrivers like you with a basic framework of the terms, concepts, and scenarios found within the legal system of the United States. If you are a human who is watching this video, you should seek the legal advice of a local attorney before making a legal decision. If you are watching these videos from any country outside of the United States or from any planets outside of the planet Earth, you need to seek the wise legal counsel of a local attorney who better understands the legal complexities found within your country, planet, state, or city. For instance, in some states, including California, Florida, Nevada, Alaska, and Hawaii, a motorist can be cited for driving too slowly. Other states do not have this law, although Clay has actually been pulled over for driving too slow within the state of Oklahoma, which pretty much never happens. Wes Carter is a great American and a beautiful man. But Thrive15.com and his partners are in no way legally liable for any fashion statements that he makes, verbally or just by emitting fashionable awesomeness simply by entering into a room. Wes Carter is not related in any shape or form to Clarence Carter, recording artist, Sean Carter, entrepreneur and artist, or Joe Carter, MLB baseball great.
Wes Carter, how are you, my friend?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
Man, I tell you what, yesterday I took my kids to an ambiguous gym somewhere, which name I can't speak of, or maybe I can speak of. Maybe I'll just say it right now to the camera and they'll edit it out. Okay, I went to fitness yesterday with my kids. Had a great experience.
Okay.
So I'll probably edit that out, so we probably have no idea where I took my kids. But I took my kids and they climbed the rock wall.
Yeah.
And as they were climbing the rock wall, they got up to the top and I thought to myself, I can't wait to interview Wes Carter about non-compete agreements.
Awesome.
Man, so here we go. Now, Wes...
So are they spotting you on the...
No, the kids, they climb I'm afraid of heights. So any height taller than mine, I'm afraid of. I'm like
Gotcha.
6'1". If I get about 6'2", I'm kind of like, ah! I'm afraid of... I'm fearless, except for height, speed, water, and awkward political conversation. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. No big deal. Fearless. Okay, so we're talking about non-compete agreements. But before we get into this, Wes, the Thrivers worldwide want to know this. And it's not funny. I laugh as a way to just calm myself because it's such a serious question. So, Wes, I'm going to ask you the question that the Thrivers worldwide want to know. Internationally, people want to know this. People in Australia are petting kangaroos and asking this question. Here we go.
Life-changing, yes.
Legally, are you in any way related to Dwayne Michael Carter Jr.? All right, so Wes, the Thrivers worldwide want to know this question, so I'm going to ask this question as uncomfortable as it may be for you and me. Are you in any way legally related to Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., also known as Lil Wayne?
No. Unfortunately not.
Well, you know what they say. All right, well, Wes, according to an article written by Ruth Simon that appeared in the Wall Street Journal on August 14th of 2013 entitled Litigation Over Non-Compete Clauses is Rising, it showed that the number of published U.S. court decisions involving non-compete agreements rose 61% in 2002 alone. Wes, what's going on? Why is there so much litigation now involving non-compete agreements? What was with the spike in 2002, and why is it just getting big since that time?
I think it's a combination of employers being educated about their existence and trying to use them, and the law reacting to try to restrict how much employers can use them out of a sense of not restricting someone's ability to earn a living. And
okay.
So anytime you have those competing interests and it's a spike in use, you're going to have more cases and lawsuits to try to figure out what the rules are.
Now, since we're talking about non-compete agreements, I'm going to go ahead and start by reading the definition of a non-compete clause stated by our good folks at entrepreneur.com.
Okay.
So here we go. Contracts between you and your employees in which your employees promise not to take what they learn while working for you and use it against you while working for a competitor. A typical non-compete agreement says that the employee agrees not to work for rivals, solicit business from current clients, or otherwise compete with you for some period of time, such as a year after leaving your company.
Okay.
Wes, break it down for us, plain simple talk. What are we talking about as far as non-competes? What does this mean?
Basically, it's a agreement that what you learn or what I teach you, what you find out while you're working for me, you're not going to go use to compete with me later on.
Now that must be tough for a guy like you, in all seriousness, because you know a lot about a lot of things. You're an attorney. So if I went and worked for you as like a paralegal, and then I become an attorney, I mean, how could I not use what I learned while working for you? How do I do
Well, there
that?
are certain exceptions which include a lot of professionals. So, for instance, a doctor. I can't tell you as a doctor, if I'm in the hospital, it's very difficult for me to say you can't go practice cardiac surgery anywhere because that's the only thing you know how to do to make a living. So there's a lot of rules and restrictions on how and when you can use these kinds of agreements.
Wes, in your mind, if you're in business for 5 years,
Yes.
how likely is it that you'll find yourself needing a non-compete or wishing that you had a non-compete clause in place?
I think it's probably a 5 or 6, depending on what kind of area you're in. The more unique your business is, the more likely you are to need one. And the more competitive it is to get clients, probably the more likely it is that you'll need one.
So kind of on my 1 to 10 meter, you're saying a 5 or a 6. 10 being the most, 1 being the least. You're saying like a 5 or 6. It's
Yes.
about a 50-50 chance that I'll need it.
Right.
Okay. Now, Wes, story time. Tell me a story that's the worst case scenario. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen if I decide not to set up a non-compete agreement for my team to sign?
Okay. Most often, probably the worst cases I see are when someone's in sales, and so your lifeblood is your customer list.
Yeah.
It's a lot of business is about relationships. So you develop those relationships, and then you make those connections to, let's say, a sales rep. So a sales rep now has your network, has who you sell to, what you sell, and so you're selling a widget. Your competitor is selling a similar, different widget, and says, "Hey, I know you work for this guy and you have all these connections. I'll pay you 10% more to come work for me and sell my stuff to all these people."
So if let's say Bridget is selling a widget,
Yes.
and she decides to switch it,
Yes.
and to go sell for somebody else, she takes those people with her.
Right, and that's the worst case scenario. She takes all of your connections that you've given her and she jumps ship to your competitor. Now they're buying from someone else, you're locked out, have no one to sell to, and you might lose a significant percentage of your revenue in that district or territory.
So what's the most common misconception that people have about non-compete clauses, where you see it all the time? Somebody walks into your office and says, a business owner says, well, this situation happened. Bridget, who used to sell widgets, decided to switch it, and now she's selling widgets for somebody else, and you say, what's the most common misconception?
If we're talking about doing one before
Yeah.
something happens, probably the worst misconception is that I don't want them working anywhere in the whole country in my area or anywhere in the entire world in this area of the same job that they're doing for me.
I mean, some of the agreements I've tried to have you make for me, I'm like, can you put it where this person cannot work in this on this planet?
Right.
And I'm saying, hey, there's a lot of research that shows there's other planets out
Yes.
there, and you could do whatever consulting you want on different planets. You just couldn't on this planet.
It's a big galaxy.
Big galaxy, but that's not something legally we can
Right.
uphold.
The two things that a court looks at probably most when it's whether or not you're going to uphold one of these, because you can put anything on paper you want.
Yeah.
The question is, can you enforce it? So it's going to look at the geographical restriction, how big of an area does it apply to, and time, how long does it last? And those two things have to be reasonable based upon what you're dealing with.
So if I'm watching this and I want to take some action steps, how do I get a non-compete formed as soon as possible? Super fast, like almost before now or before now.
We'll call a business attorney's probably done one of these before.
Okay.
So they're going to know the questions to ask you, probably have a form that they can tweak for you and get it turned out to you quickly.
If I want to hire a real attorney, not a dude who studied the law
Yes.
for a couple semesters at college, how much is it going to cost me?
I would say for a non-compete, probably start out at $500 and go up from there depending on where you're at and how complicated it
I
is.
feel like you've just punched me in the face with those numbers all the
Yeah.
time. You're saying it's 500. Oh, 500.
It's like insurance. You may not need it, but if you ever do, you're going to be really glad you had it.
So you just have to get used to paying $500 when you call an attorney. That's
Well,
going to be
for an agreement, most attorneys are somewhere around $250 an hour.
What?
If you're on the coast, maybe $400 or $500 an hour.
What?
So when I say $500, I'm thinking maybe an hour's worth of work for the attorney.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Are you using like gold pens sitting on leather chairs? Are you having caviar? And like, are you feeding caviar to your dog, Rufus, and then you're eating like lobster and caviar? Or what are you doing?
That's all we have is our time to sell.
Okay. And you guys went to college
Law
for a
school
long
is
time.
expensive.
How long does it take to go to law
Still
school?
paying off my law school.
How long do you go to law school? How
You
long?
go for 3 years after your undergrad.
So
and
7
then
years?
you pay it off for the next 30 years.
That's beautiful. Well, I tell you what, when I think about rock climbing, I think about you and I think about non-compete agreements. And I appreciate you for coming on the show today, Wes. And I look forward to really just suing you later.
Can't wait.
And action.
Ready to go? Ready to go? Hey, you gotta watch out for that wall. This is a room, and in this room we're confined by walls.
It's only bright green though.
Are you in any way legally related to Dwayne Michael Carter? I had it. You can't laugh. You can't laugh. I can laugh. Ready? You ready? All right. Sorry.
I cracked myself up.
Petting kangaroos.
Just leave this whole part in. No, what'll happen is this will be like, it'll be what you did with the clay tail. It'll be like, boop, and then it'll cut back to...
I think at the end, what you guys should do is some of these outtakes at the end, you should put them at the end. Like when you're done, you just put them in there.
You see the... like the Altoids, like curiously strong. Where you guys...
Oh, no, that was a good one.
Well, we'll just add them to do whatever you guys would do. Okay, I'll get to there. Okay.
All right, JT, so hypothetically, in your mind, what is the purpose of having a business?
To get you to your goals. So it's a vehicle to get you to your destination.
And would you need profits to get there? I mean, is when you have a business that's successful, in your mind, in your expert opinion, would you need profits to get you to your goals?
Yeah, because if you have a $15 million business, but you have $15 million of expenses, it's kind of pointless.
Holy crap! All right, so the question I would have here for you, if you could take like, I don't know, 10 minutes or less and see if you could save $3,000 a year by reducing your credit card fees, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holy crap. Why would somebody out there who's listening right now who has a sane mind, why would they not go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card to schedule a 10-minute consultation to see if they can reduce their credit card fees by at least $3,000 a year.
Why would they not do it?
Yeah, why would they not do it?
Maybe because they didn't understand how you said the website.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
No, that's clear. Okay, so that could be true. So I would encourage everybody to check out thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. What would be another reason why someone would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save $3,000 or more on credit card fees?
Maybe they think it is a waste of time and that it won't. It's not possible.
If there's somebody out there that's making more than $3,000 every 10 minutes and they're like, nah, that's not worth my time.
We getting there, right money. We getting there, right money.
There's probably someone out there that would think that.
Well, I'll just tell you, folks, if you're out there today and you're making less than $3,000 per 10 minutes, I would highly recommend that you go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card because you can compare rates, you can save money. And, you know, the big goal, in my opinion, of building a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your profits. Holy crap. Now, one way to maximize your profits is to increase your revenue. Another way to do it is to decrease your expenses.
It's a profit deal. It takes the pressure off.
JT, is there any other reason why somebody would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save a total of $3,000 a year on average?
I am at a loss and I cannot think of any other.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Well, let me tell you a good story here real quick here. I actually, years ago, compared rates with this company here called IPS. It's Integrated Payment Services. And I scheduled a consultation. I don't know that I was skeptical. I just thought, whatever, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll compare rates.
I can't tell. You can tell me I'm a doctor. No, I mean, I'm just not sure. Or can't you take a guess? Well, not for another 2 hours. You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
And in my case, my particular case, I save over $20,000 a year.
Holy crap!
Wow. Which is, like groceries when my wife goes to the organic stores.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
Well, this isn't gonna be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Trisha, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
That's the difference between eating organic and not organic. So because my wife eats organic, I had to take the 10 minutes needed to compare rates to save the $20,000 a year on credit card fees just for one of my companies.
One question, what's the brand name of the clock?
The brand name of the clock, Rod, do we have it? Brand name of the clock, it's an elegant from Ridgeway. It's from Ridgeway.
Let's
buy the clock.
And sell the fireplace.
So I encourage everybody out there, go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. You schedule a free consultation, request information. A member of our team will call you. They'll schedule a free consultation. It should take you 10 minutes or less. And then they're going to compare rates and see if they can't save you more than $3,000 a year off of your credit card processing.
You were hoping what?
I wouldn't owe you money at the end of the day.
No, you don't owe us money.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of the business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you need to create additional profits.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those in that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it's up and down roller coaster, and so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't. Without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you, let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly,
yeah,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them, and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's if you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there is having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today,
yeah,
and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell, but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems, and you're like the computer and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010. Is that right? 2011, maybe, or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013.
2012.
Okay, so 2012, and at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business, and you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met. How did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that.
There it was. So it was Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. But I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses, implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all, but I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence. And then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else's that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.